Hey guys, welcome back to the Snap Ring Chronicles. Today we have another Ratchet video for you. But as always, before we dive into it, if you find this helpful or this content interesting, could you please give me a like, share, and subscribe to my channel. Okay, today what we have is a Stanley Ratchet. I would say this is from around the 80s. Has the knurled handle. Still leather Stanley there. And here's the head. It's a round head ratchet. It has the thumb wheel. And the model is 85-483. Here's my dilemma. This ratchet says USA, but I'm not too sure about that. I find this ratchet very familiar, and I'll show you why. It's like a couple of days ago I did a review on this Craftsman ratchet from around the same time period, around the early to mid 80s, and the Stanley and the Craftsman are very similar. And what we know about the Craftsman is that it was made in Taiwan. Okay, let's do a little comparison here. I took the coil ring off already to save a little time. It's just the regular spiral coil ring that holds in like most of these ratchets. And you push this one out. And here's the head. Let me take this one out. Here are the heads. The heads look very similar. They both have 41 teeth. This is what the teeth look like. This is what the teeth look like here. Very similar looking heads. This one has a small little lip cut out, but besides that, they look very similar. Okay, here's the mechanism. This is where they differ. The mechanism here, which surprisingly, the Stanley has a double pawl mechanism. And as we saw with the Craftsman, it just has a single pawl mechanism. And the pawl on the Stanley is a lot wider also. Okay, but the similarities. Look at the switches. This one has three spokes, and this one's just the one line, but look, they're the same diameter. Besides being different shapes, I mean, it looks like the same switch. And another thing, if you look, the ring indent where the retention ring goes, they're both the same size. And let me just take this one apart. Okay, to take this one apart, I just take the pawls that are sticking up. And I press them down. And I switch the switch to where the plungers are underneath these posts. So I press them down, and then I put the plungers underneath the post here. That way the pawls swing free. Okay, to save time, and since this is hard to get out, I'm going to use a magnet to start it up. Okay, once I get it like that, I stick my nail in and I go around little by little. Remember the plungers in there, so, and there's one in the front and the one for the other pole is in the back. So I pull it out. Okay, now that plunger came out. Now we have another plunger in the rear. Has to come out. Pull that out. Okay, so here's the switch with the two plungers. This is what the plunger looks like. It's a hollow plunger with a spring inside. And the other one's the same thing. Okay. Here's the plunger for the Craftsman. And here's the plunger for the Stanley. They're pretty much the same plungers, hollow with the spring inside. So there's no difference in the plungers. Okay, the switches. Here's the Stanley switch. And here's the switch for the Craftsman. This is the Craftsman, this is the Stanley. Pretty much identical, except this one's a little bit longer. This one is a little bit longer because this one has a cutout here on top. You see that? There's a protrusion, and that has to do with switching in the mechanism, so it creates like a stop to where you won't be able to switch all the way around. It stops the switch. Okay, but the switches, as you see, are almost identical. And there's another interesting part. Here's the post for the Craftsman. And here's the pawl. Here's the pawl for the Craftsman. Okay, like I said, these pawls are not the same. This one's a lot wider, but there's an interesting part here. You see that this one has a leather? Okay. I'm gonna these are the posts. And okay, here are your pawls. This one, as you see, like I said, the Stanley is bigger, but check this out. They both have the letters Y on them. Oh, this one might be a Y or a V, and this one has a Y. And this other pawl also has a letter on it. And they're both very similar in shape. This one has 3 teeth, this one has 3 teeth. That's chamfered in the hole. This one's chamfered in the hole. It's underneath. And the the other side. Oh, and the posts or the pins for the poles. Here are the pins for the pole. The one on the right is the Stanley, and the one on the left is the Craftsman. They're like identical pins, same diameter, and everything. Okay, so I'm gonna put this aside, the Craftsman. Okay, to get this Stanley back together, you take your poles, you drop them in, take your post, drop that one in, take your other pole, drop that in, take your other pin or post, and drop it in to where it's like that. You take your switch, it has the 2 holes for the plungers. You take one plunger, you put it in the back hole, you take the other plunger and spring, and you put it in the front hole. Like that. You take your mechanism and you put the switch in the hole like that, and the plunger's against the wall there, so you take like a pick or something and you press it in, and then you push in. Okay, now this one, it didn't go in all the way because we still have this plunger that needs to be pressed in. And you take that one, you press that one in, and you press it in all the way. Okay, you see if it switches. Yep, it's switching. Okay, now you take the switch side and you put it in on the Stanley side. Here. Push that in. You take your coil ring and where is it? Okay. Open it up there into the lip and you mash it around the edge there, like that. Then it clicks. Okay, now it's working. Okay, well, just to end this video, I don't know in the 80s what kind of, like, I think there was a lot of smoke and mirrors going on with made in USA and what constitutes made in USA. I believe that this ratchet has definitely parts made in Taiwan. I don't know how many parts or what percentage of this ratchet is made in Taiwan. I don't know. If anybody out there has any more information on this, yeah, just drop me a comment, let me know, because I'm curious, because this ratchet is almost identical to the Craftsman, but this one says USA, and as we know, the Craftsman, like I said before, was made in Taiwan. So I don't know, maybe the body is made in the USA and the mechanism is Taiwanese. I have no idea. Even though this mechanism is a lot stronger than the Craftsman, this is double pawl, double thicker pawls, and it has like very fine clicks like double pawls usually have. But I don't know, there's like that dilemma in my head. Is this like really USA or is it not? Alright guys, that's all I got today. Alright, take care, bye.